Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Holly and you're watching Halkine TV live from Sydney. This is the last show of the day, the last trade. Australian shares traded up today thanks to rising optimism that the Omicron variant of COVID poses less risk than initially believed. Market sentiment was also lifted after the US consumer price gains in November met expectations, which eased pressure on the Federal Reserve to speed up the bond tapering process. Then at the market close, the ASX 200 gained 25.80 points or 0.35%, while the benchmark index crossed above its 125-day moving average. Over the last 5 days, the index has gained 1.85% and is currently 3.32 off its 52-week high. Then on the sectoral front, 9/11 sectors ended higher as well, with energy being the best performer, gaining 2.04% and 2.96% for the past 5 days. But the best performer in stocks today was Netwealth Group, who is up 7.2%. And following Netwealth is Charter Hall, up 5.9% after they announced the upgraded financial year 22 earnings guidance and provided an FUM growth update, which is now expected to be at 61.3 billion as of the 31st of December. Other top performers today include Orica Resources, Nanosonics and Champion Iron. Then in the red zone, GED Holdings was the top laggard, with its stock plummeting a whopping 3.7%. Other losers for today include Insurance Australia, Megaport, NIB Holdings and QBE Insurance Group. Meanwhile, shares in construction and the building services company Johns Lying jumped as much as 17% today after the company lifted its 6-day long trading halt. Trading volumes seem to have jumped as investors rushed to get in on the share registry to take advantage of the retail entitlement offer priced at $6.80. An institutional placement that was 96% supported raised $221 million. Then Orica, Australia's biggest commercial explosive maker, has sold its ground support unit Manova for around $180 million to the German-listed investment firm Aurelius Group. The deal is expected to close on March of 2022 and that same quarter. Today, Orica shares traded in the green zone. And then Santos announced that Athena McKinnell will become the new Chief Financial Officer from the 1st of January, succeeding Anthony Nielsen, who has held the role since December of 2016. Mr. Nielsen will stay in touch with Santos as Chief Commercial Officer, and today Santos shares traded up by over 2%. Then CSL Limited has confirmed that it's in a takeover talk with Swiss pharma firm Vita. The $136 billion biotech giant will make a play for Vifa, which specializes in iron supplements and kidney health products. The $10 billion takeover will be the largest acquisition since CSL had listed on the ASX. And today, its shares traded marginally higher. And then more in the healthcare space, private hospital giant Ramsay Health Care will be entering into the UK mental health care market with a planned $1.4 billion acquisition of service provider Elysium. The buy provides Ramsay with an excellent opportunity to expand its successful healthcare services platform in the UK. Although unfortunately, shares today traded in the red zone. Looking at the Asian markets now, and the Asia Pacific stocks were up today with investors digesting Japanese data and looking ahead to a week of central bank meetings, which could indicate the end of the US policy stimulus. Japan's Nikkei 225 rose 0.98% and South Korea's Kospi was close behind, up 0.80. Meanwhile, Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index jumped 1.61 and China's Shanghai Composite rose 1.09, while the Shenzhen component gained 0.51%. With industrial production and retail sales data due on Wednesday of this week. Then in the US, the S&P 500 futures closed a record high on Friday following inflation data for November that mostly followed expectations. The consumer price index grew 6.8% year-on-year and 0.8% month on month, while the core CPI grew 4.9% year on year and 0.5% month on month. Then in the crypto markets, the total cryptocurrency market cap knocked off 0.9% in the last few hours to stand at 2.36 trillion, while the trading volume is at 82 billion Australian dollars. Then in other news, Bitcoin mining has totally recovered from the Chinese crypto crackdown that took more than half the world's miners offline virtually overnight earlier this year. The recovery is measured by looking at the hash rate, an industry term used to describe the computing power of all miners in the Bitcoin network. And that is all for today on The Last Trade, but tune in to Calcine TV tomorrow for more market news and insights. This is Holly Shields signing off for the day.